everybody. This is Washington Ant's new wall-mounted sand formicarium. I'm going to be doing a demonstration on how to put it together and get it set up. Alright, so to fill our formicarium with sand, we're going to want to put it on a towel on some kind of structure that we can slant it on. The towel will keep it from slipping. Then we're going to want to put a piece of paper or cardstock, preferably, into the formicarium. Then you're going to want to put your hydration pipe down into the formicarium, and you're going to want to slide it all the way to the edge. If you want, you can put it in the middle, you can put it in the side, you can put it wherever you want. I like to keep it out of sight, and so putting it right there on the edge behind the metal makes it look really crisp. Now, you're going to want to take your sand and hold your paper out and get your sand to land on the paper. And that way it keeps sand from bouncing everywhere as you dump it into the formicarium. And it gives you a larger pouring area. And you are going to want to kind of extract your paper as you go, because if you fill this all the way up with the paper all the way at the bottom, it could get stuck. And then every once in a while you're going to want to level out your sand a little bit, so then you can get more in. Alright, and then once your sand is in, you can fold the paper out. And there you go. And you can level it out however much you want. And it should get you right up to the ports on the side. And if it's just shy or just over the ports, you can always landscape the inside to have a peak or take away a little sand. That should be good for that. Also, when you're finished putting the sand in, take a thin piece of cloth and you can use a ruler. I use a little bottle cleaner that I have for test tubes. You can stick it in and you can get the sand dust off the glass on the inside. So you have a nice, clear, clean view of your ants. You can also do a little landscaping like that as well if you want. There we go. Nice clean glass. Alright, we're ready to put it on the wall. After you've installed the cleat on the wall, make sure it's level and at the height that you'd like. You can then take your formicarium, which has a cleat on the back, and just hook it on the wall. And there you go, wall-mounted sand formicarium. We'll talk about care in just a second. Now you're going to want to take your syringe that you were supplied with and fill it with distilled water. Then you're going to want to fill your hydration pipe, which is going to saturate the lower corner with water. This will create a hydration gradient for your ants. And later, when your ants have made tunnels and you don't want to destroy them by watering the top, you can water the bottom instead. This will take a couple of fillings with the syringe. and this water will seep and move around over time. All right. Now at this point, you should probably add your fluon. I'm just drying the top here where my fluon will go. I'm going to use a Q-tip for this. Alright, and then you're going to want to get all the way around the pipe here, all the way along the glass. You're going to want to get the edges, and then all the way along the back of the glass as well. Now the ants I'm putting in here aren't terribly interested in climbing, so it isn't a big problem to keep these guys contained. Now that your Formicarium is prepared, you're going to want to prepare your test tube. Now, this would be your test tube with your ants inside. You're going to want to take a piece of pipe, wrap it in cotton, and then make a plug out of it into your test tube so then they can crawl out. So then, once you've got this arranged, and you want to put this together first, you can then unplug the side of your Formicarium and plug in the pipe into the Formicarium. Now you're going to want this to go in past the glass, you're going to have to work it past. But then once it's connected, it will be snug and secure, and your ants can move from the test tube into the Formicarium. Alright, so I've set up my Tetramorium colony here. I have a founding box that we also make, and these guys are just ready to have their test tube swapped. So you take the, you leave the dry test tube in that they're currently living in, and instead of swapping in a new wet test tube, you put the pipe in the test tube hole, and where you would normally put the new test tube. Then, as they're preparing to move to a damper environment, they will go searching for a new place to live, find your damp Formicarium, and move in, as it's a better spot for them to raise brood and to tunnel and just to even drink water. So then they'll move into the more comfortable environment and out of the old one. And when that transfer is completed, you can just unplug the pipe and put the cap back on. And there you have it. Hope you guys enjoy, and happy innkeeping.